You're in pain, you're missing work, and the insurance company's already downplaying your injuries. Maybe even being a bit snarky with you. You're thinking, it may just be whiplash because that's what the insurance adjuster keeps calling it, even though your neck and back haven't felt right since the crash. I'm Tim Miley, and I've been handling personal injury cases here in West Virginia for over 20 years. And most people seriously underestimate what their neck and back injury claims are actually worth. This video walks you through how these injuries are evaluated and what you can do right now to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. I'll also explain how you can get the treatment you need, protect your case, and avoid being stuck with bills the insurance company should have paid. 1. Why insurance companies downplay neck and back injuries. Let's start with something I see all the time here in West Virginia, and that is insurance companies act like your neck or back pain isn't a big deal, even when you can barely get out of bed. They'll say, oh, that's just a little soreness, or you'll be fine in a week or two. Now, why do they do this? Have you ever wondered? That's because many neck and back injuries are what we call soft tissue injuries. They don't always show up on an x-ray. You can have constant or intermittent pain, muscle spasms, and even nerve problems, and your medical images might look totally normal. Insurance adjusters are trained to use these x-ray results against you. They'll question whether you're exaggerating, or may even say, your pain is probably from some old injury and not the crash. In West Virginia, insurance companies have a legal duty to deal with your claim in good faith, but that doesn't mean that they're on your side. Their job is to save their company's money, which means paying you a small amount for your pain and suffering. If you let them, they'll settle quickly and for as little as possible. Let me give you an example. I had a client from Charleston who was rear-ended at a red light. His neck felt stiff, but he thought it would pass. The insurance company offered him $800 right after he made a claim. Luckily, he called me first. We encouraged him to follow up with the doctor before he thought about settling his case. Well, we're glad we did because he found out he had a herniated disc, and 9 months later, he settled for over $75,000. So, the first thing you have to understand is this. The insurance company's first offer is almost never enough for your neck or back injury. They expect you to negotiate or to get help from a lawyer. Never accept the first number they throw at you if you're hurt. Number 2, see a doctor and follow their instructions. If you want to get fair value for your neck and back injuries after a car accident, you need good medical records. In West Virginia, your medical documentation is the foundation of your injury claim. If it's not there on paper, the insurance company will act like it never happened. Go to the doctor as soon as you notice pain. Even if it's just a little stiffness, make sure you get checked out. Tell them exactly how the pain started and how it's been affecting your life. Don't downplay it, because if you wait too long, the insurance company will say, well, if you were really hurt, you would have gone sooner to get checked out. And here's something a lot of folks don't realize. You have to keep going to your appointments and follow your treatment plan. If your doctor says to do physical therapy, do it. If they prescribe medication, take it as directed. If you skip appointments or stop going to therapy, the insurance company will argue that you're not really hurt or that you made your injury worse by not following medical advice. I'll give you a real West Virginia example. I represented a woman from Morgantown who sprained her back in a T-bone accident. She went to the emergency room, but then skipped her follow-up appointments because her schedule was too busy. And that happens, right? Because we all have busy lives and family obligations. Well, the insurance company argued that her pain wasn't that bad. Otherwise, she would have gone back for treatment. So the insurance company offered her far less than what it should have. The more proof you have of your injuries and the treatment you receive for it, the stronger your case will be, and the more money the insurance company will offer you for your pain and suffering. Number 3, document your pain and how it impacts your life. Most people think a claim is just about doctor's bills, but in West Virginia, you're entitled to recover not just for medical costs, but also for pain and suffering and how the injury has messed with your daily life. So what does that mean for you? Start keeping a simple journal or note on your phone. Write down your pain level each and every day. Make sure to describe any trouble you're having. Maybe you can't lift your kids, can't play golf, or have trouble sleeping. If you miss work, Write that down too. Maybe you can't do your farm chores or you have to pay someone else to help with housework. But above all else, be specific. I had a client from Fairmont who slipped a disc in her lower back after a crash. She kept a daily log, including photos on days she couldn't even get out of bed. When it was time to negotiate, we used her journal to show how much her life had been affected. The adjuster told me, "Your client really made it clear what she was going through." That detail led to a much higher settlement for our client. Photos can help too. If you have bruising, swelling, or need medical equipment like a brace or walker, make sure to take pictures. People relate to images, and insurance adjusters do too. 4. Be careful what you say to insurance adjusters. After a West Virginia car accident, the other driver's insurance company will usually call or send you a bunch of forms, and probably both. Remember, you don't have to give a recorded statement right away or sign any forms. In fact, you don't have to talk to them at all without a lawyer. These adjusters are trained to get you to say things that hurt your claim. You might say, "I'm feeling better," or "It's not that bad," just because you want to be polite. Later, they'll use your words to argue that you weren't really hurt, or that you may have been hurt initially, but that you recovered very quickly. I once helped a man from Martinsburg who hurt his back in a sideswipe crash. He told the insurance adjuster, "I'm fine, just a little sore." Well, months later, when it turned out he needed therapy and missed work, the insurance company said, "He told us he was fine." Now, we still won, but it made things much harder for his case. So, the moral of the story is to keep your conversations with the adjusters short and factual. Don't talk about your medical history or guess about your injuries. Just say you're getting checked out and you'll provide more information later. If you're unsure, tell them you'd like to speak with your lawyer before answering. 5. Don't settle too soon. Know your rights. Insurance companies in West Virginia want you to settle quickly. They are likely to call you days after your accident and offer you a check, hoping you'll take it before you even know how badly you're hurt. Here's the problem with that. Neck and back injuries can take weeks and even months to fully develop and for you to know what, if any, permanency you have from your injuries. What feels like a minor ache today could turn into a herniated disc, sciatica, or chronic pain later. If you settle early, you can't go back for more later on. Once you sign, your case is over, even if you need surgery later on. I'll share a real story. I worked with a client from Parkersburg, a young dad who got rear-ended. The insurance company offered $5,000 right away, which sounded good to him, but his pain got worse, and eventually he needed 2 rounds of physical therapy and several weeks off work. We held out, and he ended up getting more than $50,000, enough to pay his bills, cover his lost wages, and help him get back on his feet. In West Virginia, you usually have 2 years from the date of the crash to settle your personal injury claim or file a lawsuit, but don't feel like you have to rush. Make sure you know the full extent of your injury before you agree to anything. If you're ever unsure, talk to a lawyer who knows West Virginia law. 6. Work with the right lawyer and don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't have to hire a lawyer for every car accident, but if you have neck or back injuries, especially ones that mess with your life or your ability to work, getting a good West Virginia injury lawyer can make a huge difference. And here's why. A local lawyer knows how adjusters think. They know what injuries are worth in our courts, and they know how to build a case that gets you every dollar you deserve. They can help you document your injuries, negotiate with the insurance company, and fight for you if your case has to go to court. But don't be afraid to ask questions. You should feel comfortable with your lawyer and confident they're looking out for you, not just for a quick legal fee, but for your best result. Ask them about their experience with neck and back injuries. Ask what they need from you and what you can expect at each step. And here's something else. Most West Virginia personal injury lawyers work on a contingency fee. That means you don't pay anything unless you win or settle your case. So there's really no risk to getting help if you need it. What to do next? Let's wrap up what you've learned today. If you want to get the most after a car accident for neck and back injuries in West Virginia, remember these steps. Don't take the first offer. Get medical care and follow your doctor's advice. Document your pain and how your life has been affected. Be careful in every conversation with insurance adjusters. And don't settle too soon. Know your rights and get help if you need it. If this video helped you, the next one is a must-watch. It's called How to Handle a Totaled Car When You Still Have a Loan. You'll learn why the insurance payout might not cover your loan, you'll learn what gap coverage actually means, and you'll learn how to protect your credit and your wallet after a serious crash. You won't want to miss it, because you could save yourself thousands of dollars and a lot of stress. See you over there.